All right, welcome back. This will be tutorial number 3 on how to implement code blocks into your GUI. So basically, when you guys are writing code, you need to use your GUI as a checklist item of what works and what doesn't work. Does this text box work? Does this button up here work? Does this button entering a teacher's code work? Um, Everything. Does um, this spinner right here, does it work? Does this button right here, if you wanted this button to do something, this large pride ticket button, if that was supposed to add 1 to the counter, is it adding 1 to the counter? And you just work your way down. Does this label right here with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, does it work? And then does your reset button work? Does your voice button work? Does the button barcode button work? Does the button to buy work? And you just use this as a checklist to add code to each one of these items on your GUI. That's why it's so important for you guys to construct your GUI. Are you with me? Because if you don't construct your GUI, then you don't know what to make work in your code window. Does that make sense? Okay? So you use this as a checklist. Does sound 1 work? Does sound 2, sound 3, sound 4, sound 5? Does the speech to text work? Does barcode scanner work? And you just want to add event handlers. Those are called event handlers. You want to add an event handler to each one of these items so that you can make your app work and make it function and make it become alive. So your code blocks make it come alive. So let's go look to see what we have in here. So right now, how many people have this right here? Thumbs up if you have it. Okay, so you want to go ahead. Does everyone now know how to add a variable? Okay, so you want to initialize a global variable. Going back to code blocks, can someone shut that door for me, please? Going back to code blocks, what do I have done? I've created 3 variables. I've created a teacher code, a student code, and a ticket count. How many tickets that person has accumulated. So when they click on BTN counter, then I want to go ahead and I want to take the .teacher code and set it to, the global variable. All right. So same thing here. Okay. I'm going to duplicate this, and the student code, I'm going to get that from the student code box. Okay, so I need to go back here and find the password. Okay, I need to go ahead and get the password. This one's wrong. So, okay, I see what's happened here. Okay, I'm gonna go into my designer. See this here? I have LBL student, but inside of here I have TXT teacher code. That's bad logic. So this one should be called TXT student code. Are you with me? That's why that wasn't jiving to me when I looked at code, because it's saying TXT teacher. I'm like, what? You can't put TXT teacher into student code. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so this is where like your logic comes into play. So now I can go, okay, this is TXT student code, and I want to get the text out of here. Okay. Okay, my password, I'm going to go down to my teachers are going to enter in a password. Okay, so I want to go ahead and set this to my password text. Now, if you guys went back to this designer, you could see that there is a BTN scan student code here. Okay, that was spelled a little incorrectly there. So if I go here to BTN scan, not that it's really going to affect this, but there's student with an F in there, and I don't want that. So just to be kind of exact there. And this is called button 1. That button didn't get renamed. That should be called BTN scan teacher code. So my concept here is that a teacher or a student can wear an ID badge. On the back of the ID badge is a barcode, and when I want to say, okay, Deshaun just received tickets, I'm going to scan Deshaun's ID code. Boom, it's going to put his number into that box. You guys know how we scan in with the AI companion, and we scan in that 6-digit code? Are you with me? That's really what I want to do for you guys, is you guys should be wearing your ID badge every day to school. On the back of your ID badge is a barcode, and I scan that in and I get your 6-digit number off your code, and I don't have to type it in. Does that make sense? You guys with me here? Okay, so I want to get this button to work, and what that should do is just bring my barcode scanner up. I scan in your ID, and it throws it into that text box. Are you with me on that? And then from that text box, I can put it into my variable. Okay, so let's go get these two buttons to work, because we're working on these two text boxes here, and now I can make these works. Okay, so let's go and work on BTN scan. When I click on this BTN scan, I want to call my barcode reader. Where is it? There it is, barcode scanner 1. I'm going to call it to do a scan. Okay, and then I want after I'm done scanning, I want to go and say, okay, I want to go ahead and set my student text box. So let's go back up here, because I'm dealing with student here. Remember, this is BTN scan student code. I'm calling my barcode scanner to do a scan, but I'm getting the student code, and I'm going to say, okay, text box, I want to set your text. I lost it. Let me try that again. Oh, no, there it is. I see it. Just got a little camouflage there. I want to set your text to the result of the scan. Okay? And then I'm going to go down to the next scan button. BTN scan teacher code. And I want to call, when I click on this button, okay. One thing I don't like about MIT is that fact that these blocks are everywhere. Okay, so when I call the teacher to scan that code, the teacher code, then I'm going to say, okay, teacher password. Let's see, I don't know, this one may not work. So I want to set the password text, there it is, set the password text to, oh no, I'm sorry, I did that a little out of order. So I want to go ahead and call my scanner. Here we go, barcode scanner. I want it to do a scan, and I want, after the scan, I want to, there we go, it fit right in there, set my password teacher code to the result of the scan. Okay, and remember these little orange buttons up here like results, I kind of think of those as like Mario coins. You guys ever played Mario before? When you're playing Mario, and anytime you see those coins pop up above your head, you want to hit those coins and see what's in them, because you can use those a lot. I can go ahead and use a scan right here. Okay, people ask me all the time, Mr. Richter, where'd you get result from? Well, you get it right here, this little coin sitting in this box. If you ever see those coins in that box, those are pretty important. Okay, so let me just drag this down here. And for some reason, it's not liking this warning. So let's see what this warning says. Click on that warning. This is a duplicate event handler for this component. Okay, so probably what that means is that we probably need 2 barcode scan readers. Are you guys with me on this? Because it apparently doesn't like the barcode scan reader 1 doing both of these. So let's just go back to our designer and we'll just handle this ourselves. And we'll go back to a sensor and we want barcode scanner number 2. Okay, and now maybe we should go ahead and rename these since we don't want them to be ambiguous. So we'll go barcode scanner 1. We'll call this barcode scanner for students, student code. I know that's a long name, but I want it to make sense. And the next one we'll rename as barcode scanner teacher code. Remember, it's better to slow down at the beginning and then speed up later. So I know I slowed down here, made a pretty big name, but that's okay. Now I can go back to blocks, and that'll be student code, and this one will be teacher code. And let's see if that makes sense. Nope, I got these backwards. So this is barcode scanner teacher code. That should be student code. Over here, this is the password for the teacher, so that should be teacher code. Thumbs up if you understand how to do that. We good on that?